Great to see all of you here. Thanks so much for joining. Gonna wait another second for Christina to join. Hi, everybody. Great to see you. We're gonna start here in just a moment. Once Christina, there she is. She should be here any minute. Christina, are you there? There you are. Hi, Christina.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. Thanks so much for joining, and thank you everybody who's joined us on the Instagram Live today. Welcome. So today we're going to talk a little bit about filing through USCIS or filing through the Department of State. And I am going to say everything in English, and then Christina will do some of the translations, and she has she is much better at Spanish and English, certainly, than I am. So it's going to be great. So let's get started. So all of you are obviously interested in the E2 visa, which is amazing. It is an amazing visa. It's a really good option for people who want to work and live in the United States and be their own boss. So the process, actually, a lot of the documentation is going to be the same, but there are two ways to process E2 visas. Right, Christina?
Right. Bueno, bienvenidos a todos. Gracias por unirse a este live. Hoy vamos a hablar de un tema bastante recurrente que produce muchos clientes que tramitan la visa E2. Sobre qué es mejor, si tramitar la visa E2 en el consulado americano en su país de origen o en la USCIS, that's right?
USCIS.
Yeah. USCIS,
yeah.
Que es la entidad migratoria de los Estados Unidos, como quien dice Cancillería o el Ministerio de Relaciones Exteriores acá en Colombia. Entonces Angie es Angie Rupert es la socia fundadora de Rupert Law Group. Angie va a decir todo en inglés y yo lo voy traduciendo al español. Y si tienen preguntas, just shoot. Háganlas. Y estamos pendientes de responderles. Go ahead, Angie.
Okay. I'm like, oh my gosh, there were two English words in there. I heard nothing except for just shoot. So here we are. So there are two different ways to file, as we just talked about. So by contrast, many other visas that you will get in the United States, you must go through both processes. You must go through USCIS, which is under the Department of Homeland Security, and you must go through the Department of State. The Department of State runs all of the consulates and embassies around the world, the U.S. consulates and embassies around the world. So in most cases, you will go through both. You will apply through USCIS, they will approve, then you will go to an interview at the Department of State. But that's not the case with E1s and E2s. With those visas, you actually choose one or the other. So today we're going to talk about the pluses and minuses of going through USCIS. And we'll talk about the pluses and minuses of going through the Department of State. So you can figure out which one is going to be best for you.
Ok, entonces, para la mayoría de las visas americanas, es necesario pasar por ambos departamentos, por decirlo así, por el ICUIS, no.
USCIS.
Yes. Yeah. Y después ir a una entrevista en el consulado en el país de origen, o sea, se debe hacer en ambos. Para el caso de la visa E2, esto no es así, se escoge o el uno o el otro. Entonces, hoy vamos a ver cuál es mejor y cuáles son los pros y contras de ir o al uno o al otro.
Yes. So, let's start by going through USCIS. So, many people ask me about going through USCIS, and let me tell you a little bit about the process. So, in order to go through USCIS, you will need to be in the United States. So that's processing here. You also need to be present for at least 90 days in the United States before you apply. You also need to be on a visa that allows a change of status. So for most people, that's a B1, B2, which is the tourist visa. Others are here on an F1. Yet others I've had on TN visas, which are for only Mexican and Canadian citizens. That's a very special visa that only they have. Others are here on H1Bs. which are regular work visas. Some are here on O's or L's. So there are a variety of ways that you could be here, but you must be in the United States. And especially if you're here on a B1, B2, you must be here for a minimum of 90 days before you try to file for a change of status. So, sorry, Christina, I don't want to make you go hours and hours and translate everything. There you go.
Ok, entonces lo que dice Angie es que para poder realizar el trámite a través del USCIS, la persona debe estar en los Estados Unidos. Por lo general, si tienen una visa de turismo, deben estar por lo menos, deben haber estado por lo menos durante 90 días en los Estados Unidos, y para poderlo realizar se debe hacer un cambio de estatus de visa. Es decir, debes estar allá con una visa y vas a hacer el cambio a la visa de 2. Go ahead.
Great. So if you change status in the United States, again, you must be present for at least 90 days before you file the documents, but you can file premium processing, right? So premium processing means you will file, as of today, you will pay, as of today, now they do change this rate, but as of today, you'll pay an extra $2,500, and you will get your response within 2 to 3 weeks of the day that we file. So that's great. You're going to know right away.
Ok, si estás en Estados Unidos, se puede pagar un proceso premium, que es como una tasa que uno paga a este departamento para que aceleren el proceso. Es por un valor de $2,500, y una vez se paga esto, el proceso se agiliza y dan respuesta en 2 o 3 semanas aproximadamente, lo cual es fantástico.
So the real news is I usually never I never advise to go through USCIS, and there are a couple of reasons for that. One is that you will have no travel privileges, international travel privileges, if you change status within the United States. So what that means is if you come in on a B1, B2 visa, and you wait at least 90 days, and you file for the E2 visa, and you file for E2 status, and you are approved, you will now have status, meaning the Department of Homeland Security, through USCIS, says, yes, we get it. You are now going to be working. You're no longer here on vacation. We understand that. And you will have 2 years to continue that status.
Okay.
But if you leave the United States for any reason during that time, you don't have a visa to come back in. So you can leave anytime you want, but you can never check back in. The opposite of the Hotel California. You can leave, but you can't come back. So that's the big issue. So if you have any family or friends or anything, or a business somewhere else or whatever, no travel privileges if you stay within the United States and switch to E2 status.
Ok, entonces el trámite que se hace...
Ah, Christina. Oh, there she is. Christina, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
There you go. Okay.
Bueno, si se realiza el trámite a través de la USCIS.
Oh, Christina. Tatiana, are we okay? Christina is frozen for me. Okay. All right. Sorry. So, oh, Christina, I think maybe we lost Christina. So I'll go on and discuss. She'll check back in a moment. So that's one of the disadvantages to filing through USCIS is you have no international travel privileges. And in addition, it's usually only granted for 2 years at a time. So in some cases, going through the Department of State will allow you a lot more flexibility with travel and a lot longer time. Okay, Christina's back now. Christina! So I'll have her. There she is. Hey! All right, so we were just talking about filing in USCIS and how...
Okay.
Right, so when you change status, you're not going to be able to have international travel.
Yes. Ok, o sea, si realizamos el trámite, entonces el cambio de estatus en los Estados Unidos a través de la USCIS, por eso, o sea, si se tramita así, como hay un cambio de estatus, no se puede salir se puede salir de los Estados Unidos, pero después no puede volver a entrar. Y esto dura 2 años. Es decir, como ya estás en un momento que es un cambio de estatus, puedes salir, pero no puedes volver a entrar. Entonces esto se dificulta mucho para personas que, no sé, tienen a sus familias en otros lugares, y por eso no recomendamos mucho esto, porque tiene muchas limitaciones de viaje internacional. Entonces, si quieres ir a ver a tu familia, si quieres viajar, o sea, esto no se puede realizar con el cambio de estatus por 2 años. Es bastante tiempo.
Great. So another disadvantage is if you are married or if you have children, filing through USCIS can be very difficult because although everyone files together in the same envelope, right? So we do have to file paper, another thing I hate, but honestly, that's my issue, not yours. But we file everything together, and you as the E2 investor will be approved or denied or get an RFE within 2 to 3 weeks. You'll have some answer. Your spouse and children may take 7 to 8 months to get an answer. And if you are here on a B1, B2 visa, that means the kids cannot be in school and your spouse cannot work until they receive an answer. So the kids could be setting out an entire school year waiting for an answer while you were approved months and months ago. So keep that in mind as well.
Ok, entonces cuando se paga este dinero para que la visa salga mucho más rápido, de 2 o 3 semanas ante el USCIS, esto solo aplica para el titular de la visa y no aplica para su esposa e hijos. Entonces, esto lo que quiere decir es que van a estar tus hijos sin visa, sin poder ir al colegio por un tiempo largo, muy seguramente 1 año completo de colegio.
Yeah. So keep that in mind if you have a family, that although it's fast for you, it could be very slow for your family members, and that could really be an issue as well. Obviously, the government fees are a lot more as well, right? So you'll have, at this moment, now these fees do change. I've seen them change, but at this moment, your fees will be $460 for the original government form. And if you premium process, there will be another $2,500. So it will be around $3,000 to apply. And of course, if you have family members, there are other fees for each family member. So keep that in mind as well when you file.
Ok, entonces cuando tramitamos ante el USCIS en los Estados Unidos, los fees que se le pagan al gobierno, es decir, el valor de la visa por el cual uno le paga al gobierno, son muchísimo más altos que en los consulados americanos en nuestros países de origen. Entonces ese es otro tema que tampoco nos gusta de tramitar las visas ante el USCIS en Estados Unidos.
So some of the advantages of filing through USCIS is in a worldwide pandemic, as we have been, USCIS is open. Some of the consulates and embassies were not. Now they are starting to all be open, and filing. Some of them are very, very slow. So just be aware of that. But USCIS, if you are a single person, premium processing, 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to have your answer, right? So that's been a huge advantage during the pandemic. And also, if your English is not great, there is no interview through USCIS. Now, okay. English is not a requirement for the E2 visa. It never has been, and I hope never will be. However, you can understand that there may be some questions or difficulty at the consulate if you're supposed to be running a business in the United States and don't speak English. So keep that in mind as well. Another advantage, no interview with USCIS.
Ok, en el USCIS, en la pandemia siempre estuvo abierto. Entonces eso fue uno de los beneficios durante la pandemia. Los consulados sí cerraron durante mucho tiempo. Ya están abiertos todos y están atendiendo mucho más rápido. Entonces, si tú eras una persona soltero que estabas en Estados Unidos, no podías viajar por el tema de la pandemia, podías simplemente pagar este Prime, esta tasa que cobra esta entidad para hacerlo más rápido, y simplemente te daban tu visa de 2 a 3 semanas sin entrevista. Entonces, eso es bueno porque si tu inglés no es tan bueno, si el inglés del inversionista no es tan bueno, no tenías que hacer la entrevista, entonces no había rollo. Importante también aclarar que para el trámite de la visa de 2 no es necesario saber inglés, saber hablar inglés, pero sí es importante porque pues si vas a montar un negocio en los Estados Unidos y no sabes hablar inglés, pues obviamente el funcionario de migración lo podría llegar a tomar como un impedimento para hacerlo, pero no es requisito saber inglés para poder tramitar la visa de dos.
And I want to make a quick caveat to that. Obviously, depending on where you move, a lot of people move to Los Angeles. That's a very popular location. Houston, Miami, those are all popular locations. So if you speak Spanish, there's less concern maybe because there are huge Spanish speaking populations in all of those cities. You know, if you were going to be moving to Billings, Montana, there might be some question. Or if you speak Ukrainian, for example, or you know, something that is just less common, sometimes that can be a question. Again, not a requirement, but a question. So.
Okay. Sí, Angie estaba aclarando que pues en los funcionarios de migración también siempre tienen en cuenta a qué ciudad o a qué estado se va a ir a vivir el inversionista, porque pues si te vas a ir para Miami, te vas a ir para Los Ángeles, pues hay la mayoría de las personas hablan español, pero por ejemplo si hablas ruso o hablas ucraniano y te vas a ir, no sé, para Montana, o no hablas inglés y te vas a ir para ciudades o estados donde la mayoría de la gente solo habla inglés, pues sí lo van a tener en cuenta. Angie quería aclarar eso.
Yeah. So now let's talk about, so those are the advantages. Advantages to USCIS: no interview, predictable response time for the applicant only. Disadvantages: more expensive, less time granted, and no international travel, to summarize.
Ok, entonces para resumir, los beneficios de tramitar la visa ante el USCIS en Estados Unidos es que no hay entrevista. Si estás solo y no tienes familia, pues ya sabes cuándo te van a, y pagas la tasa para que te agilicen el proceso, ya sabes cuándo te van a responder. Se da rápidamente, no hay entrevista y no tienes que viajar del país. Y los disadvantages, o sea, las desventajas, es que se puede demorar muchísimo para los miembros de tu familia, tu esposa e hijos, y las tasas son mucho más caras y pues no puedes viajar durante 2 años durante el cambio de estatus de visas.
Yeah. So now let's talk about the other option, which is filing through the Department of State, so meaning you would file through the consulate or embassy in your home country. So this is, absent a worldwide pandemic, this is the way I almost always recommend, because generally you have a longer approval time. Generally you have international. Now I say generally because every single country has a different visa relationship with the United States. So there are countries like Australia, that visa will be good for generally 4 years. Travel, come and go as you like. Mexico, 4 years, come and go as you like. Canada, 5 years, come and go as you like. The United Kingdom, 5 years, come and go as you like. But then we have countries like Egypt, which is 1 entry, 3 months. So that just means from the day of your interview until the day you enter the United States, you only have 3 months. You must come during that 3 months. You get 1 entry to the United States, no international privileges, right? So, and then a country like Bangladesh, which has 3 months again, 2 entries. So how that works is, and we won't get into all the details about visas, but basically once you come, you can stay for 2 years, but you cannot come and go because your visa has already expired. But for the people who are in, and by the way, 5 years is the longest that any countries are, but for the countries that have 4 years, 5 years, come and go as you please, obviously the advantage is huge to get a visa rather than status. And getting a visa can only be done at the U.S. consulate or embassy in your home country.
Ok, entonces la relación de cada país, o sea, recuerden que la visa E2 es una visa que se da, es un privilegio de visa que se da para algunos países en el mundo, no para todos. Son países que tienen tratados internacionales con Estados Unidos, dentro de los cuales está Colombia, obviamente. Y cada relación con Estados Unidos sobre la visa es diferente, o sea, las relaciones entre los países son diferentes. Entonces, por ejemplo, Australia, México, Colombia, tenemos el beneficio de que durante la visa E2 puedes entrar y salir del país cuantas veces quieras. No pasa lo mismo con Egipto, con Bangladesh, entonces, que sí tienen restricciones. O sea, una vez entran a los Estados Unidos, no pueden salir o pueden salir una sola vez, etcétera. Entonces, cuando las visas se tramitan ante el Departamento de Estado, que es decir, ante consulados o embajadas americanas en el país donde el inversionista se encuentre, es mucho mejor porque no vas a tener esta restricción. O sea, tramitas la visa simplemente y puedes entrar y salir del país cuantas veces quieras.
Great. So if you are from a country, obviously, that has a great visa and a long one, obviously, the advantage is huge to go into the consulate or embassy. So in that case, the advantages there are a lot longer time that you're able to come and go, international travel, right? But the disadvantages could be that you will have an interview, and in your home country, generally, even if you don't speak English, they will have people there that can kind of translate through the interview. However, you will go through an interview process. In addition, the great news is that your whole family can come with you to one interview and everybody can be approved together, right? So you're not waiting on others and that type of thing. So normally what will happen is every person 14 or older must attend the interview. They usually won't be asked many questions, especially kids. They're not going to ask them really any questions, but everybody's passport must be there, and everyone in the family 14 or older must also attend the interview. And then everyone can be approved together, which is a huge advantage. In addition, another advantage is there is no waiting. Once you have the interview, most times, and I'll get to why I say most in a minute, but almost every time, you're just going to be approved while you stand there at the window, or denied. So you won't be waiting and wondering what's going to happen. Am I going to be approved? I don't really know. You're going to know usually that day as you stand there. So those are two huge advantages. Once you get your interview, the whole family can be approved together, and you will get usually an immediate response while you stand at the interview about what's going to happen with your visa, approved or denied.
Ok, entonces uno de los beneficios de tramitar la visa en el consulado o embajada americana en tu país es que hay entrevista, que muchas personas lo pueden ver como una desventaja, pero tiene sus ventajas porque va toda la familia de una vez con los hijos mayores de 14 años, los entrevistan enseguida y mientras esperas te dicen si les dieron la visa a todos o si las negaron. Entonces es mucho más rápido. David Barrios está haciendo una pregunta: ¿qué vigencia tiene la visa de 2? Para los colombianos, 5 años, que es el tiempo máximo de visas G2 que se dan. Go ahead, Angie.
Okay, fantastic. So in a nutshell, now I could go on and on about the E2 visa forever, which if you've ever called me, you know that. We usually talk for a long time. But that's kind of the nutshell. So that gives you the two options, either through USCIS or through the Department of State. In almost every case, I'm going to recommend the Department of State. However, there are some situations that USCIS may be appropriate. With that said, let's see. I am getting a variety of questions. They are all in Spanish.
Yes,
so
yes.
That's an issue. Can you see those, Christina?
Yes, I can
okay,
see
so there's some that happened really early on. Maybe you can read those and respond.
Yes. Ok, bueno, entonces ese es el resumen que hay básicamente. O sea, lo básico de esto es que las visas G2 se pueden tramitar estando en Estados Unidos con un tipo de visa. Se hace el cambio de estatus ante el USCIS con unas características específicas, sobre todo el tema del estatus, que durante 2 años no puedes viajar, es mucho más caro, etcétera. Se puede realizar también ante el Departamento de Estado en el consulado o embajada de tu país de origen, que es lo que nosotros casi siempre recomendamos. En situaciones muy específicas se recomienda lo del USCIS, pero bueno, eso se da en la asesoría personal que se le da a cada persona. Voy a leer las preguntas. Estando en la Angie, this answer, I'm going to translate it. If you have an F1 visa, is it possible to go out of the country of the US and enter the country again with a B1 visa, or tramit it on the consulate?
Well, if you have an F1, I mean, yeah, we're not really talking about F1s or B1s today,
Yes.
but you know, you need to, with your F1, you need to check with your school. Your international advisor is always going to have all of the information about what you can do on an F1. As far as when you enter the United States, whatever visa you use to enter, that is all you are going to be allowed to do. So if you enter on a B1, you cannot go to school, you cannot work. If you enter on an F1, you can go to school, but you know, you can't have, well, we get into a lot of different things, but basically, however you enter the United States, whatever visa you use to enter the United States, that is the status that you have when you are here, and you can only do what is appropriate for that type of visa.
Okay. Okay, so there's another question that says, what happens after you've been living in the U.S. in the change of status for 2 years? You get your visa?
You either have to renew through USCIS, or you need to go back to your home country and apply there for the first time. So the good news about the E2 visa is it is renewable as long as you and your business still meet the requirements. So you can renew it for 30 years, 40 years, however long. You have to show the documents to show that it's still operating and still meets all of the requirements, but you can apply either renew through USCIS or apply for the first time through your consulate in your home country, and that's when you get the visa. And again, I will recommend almost always that you get the visa if you can. Yeah.
Okay. David is asking if it's possible to change status from E2 to residency or green card.
I assume a green card. So
green card.
It is possible, obviously, to get a green card at some point, but the E2 itself never becomes a green card. The E2 will never turn into a green card or anything like that. There are ways to get other visas to get green cards. Okay. So yes, there are people who are here on E2s that end up being able to get a green card, but it is not through the E2 itself. It will never become permanent residency on its own. You'll have to go through another step.
Ok, ante la pregunta de David, que si se puede obtener la green card con la visa E2, la respuesta es no. O sea, no por sí sola, no después de tramitar la visa E2 únicamente. Se podrían realizar otros muchos trámites, pero no a través de la visa E2 específicamente. There's a question from Luis Niebles. Are approval rates higher at consulates compared to the USCIS? No.
Really good question. I would say, obviously, different consulates handle things differently. My experience has been that USCIS will usually request additional information. So sometimes it takes a little bit longer. I also think that the approval rates are going to be lower at USCIS if you don't have a perfect source of funds, and I mean perfect. Usually I found that the Department of State is a little bit easier on some things because you're standing right there. They can ask you questions. So you can confirm while you're standing there. USCIS is paperwork only, as there is no interview. So your paperwork to go to USCIS needs to be perfect.
Ok. Luis Niebles, sobre las tasas de aprobación, que si son más altas en los consulados o ante el USCIS, bueno, la respuesta es que ante el USCIS los papeles tienen que estar absolutamente perfectos y la fuente del dinero que vas a invertir debe estar soportada muy, muy bien, porque pues ante el USCIS, como no hay entrevista, no puedes soportar nada verbalmente, y hay cosas que a veces se enredan un poquito y uno hablando las explica y las soluciona. Ante el USCIS, no. O sea, ellos son bastante exigentes con esos temas.
Yeah. So I would say in both, we do the best that we can to provide every document that the government will need, either at the USCIS or at the consulate. Usually that's not available because, you know, things happen, right? And so nothing is perfect, but we do our best to always supply all of the documentation so you have your best chance of approval at either USCIS or the Department of State. So we really work hard with you on that. Yeah.
Ok, pues nosotros no podemos garantizar que les van a otorgar la visa en un 100%, pero pues hacemos nuestro mejor trabajo para que así sea y los asesoramos muy bien. David pregunta que si hay algún tipo de negocio recomendado para asegurar la aprobación de la visa E2. So Angie, David is asking if there's a specific business that we recommend they get, the investor gets to get the E2 visa.
No, I don't make any recommendations, because the reality is you can either start any business you want or purchase any business you want. Your restrictions are, it must be legal. You need to have clients or customers, and you need to be able to support employees. Those are really the requirements. So I have had all kinds of businesses get approved. Everything you've thought of, many you've never even heard of, types of businesses. I've had all types of different things get approved. So it's really irrelevant what type of business. The important thing is that you meet the requirements, which is why you would hire someone like Christina and me to help you make sure that you meet the requirements and we have the right documentation. But then also something you want to do. I mean, you're going to be working in this business. You're going to be directing and developing this business. So make sure it's something you enjoy. I mean, I would never tell you what you're going to be successful at or what you would like. So that is entirely up to you what business you choose. And we'll help you make sure that you have all of the requirements in order to get approved. Hopefully.
Okay. Puede ser, en respuesta a David, puede ser cualquier negocio que sea legal, que tenga clientes, que tenga empleados y que se pueda mantener. O sea, que pueda tener el dinero o hacer, sí, tener el dinero que funcione para que le puedas pagar a los empleados. Puede ser un negocio que ya esté funcionando en los Estados Unidos y tú lo compras. Puede ser un negocio, puede ser una franquicia, puede ser un negocio que tú estás operando en Colombia o en tu país de origen, en Argentina, y quieras montarlo allá, que funcione. Por lo general, a la segunda pregunta de David de empleados requeridos, se debe presentar un plan de negocios que sea acorde y especializado para la visa E2 que se debe seguir, y para empezar el negocio se debe tener mínimo un empleado que puede estar medio tiempo, puede ser un practicante, un universitario, pero pues esa asesoría se la damos nosotros les podemos decir, mira, este negocio te funciona, este negocio no es tan bueno, pero pues hay infinidad de negocios que pueden funcionar. Angie ha tenido muchísimos clientes que con diversidad de negocios, y cualquier negocio que cumpla con estos requisitos puede funcionar para la visa E2.
Great. So I know there are some more questions, and I'm so sorry. We've gone over more than 10 minutes. So I'm happy to answer more questions. With that, please reach out anytime. You can always call our office in Los Angeles, which is, and I'm on WhatsApp as well, which is country code 1, obviously, 323-434-4385. You can also email me. It's arupert@rupertlawgroup.com. And if you're speaking Spanish, you can either fill out a form on our website, rupertlawgroup.com, and fill out that form, and Christina can contact you. Right, Christina?
Yes. David, un empleado americano. Tienes la razón en preguntar eso. Un empleado americano debe ser. Bueno, estamos disponibles. Nos pueden visitar en rupertlawgroup.com.
Christina. Oh, there you are.
Ahí está el teléfono de Angie. Me pueden contactar a mí. Yo estoy en Bogotá, los atiendo en español. Muchas gracias por asistir a nuestro live, y estamos pendientes de vernos en un próximo live para explicarles más sobre la visa E2.
Great. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks. Reach out anytime. Bye.
Chao, estamos pendientes.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Angie.